we had a bit of a kept getting waylaid by different bits by different shit happening.
Yeah. Yeah, sorry it's been kind of a wait on this one. It's like, Cowboy Bebop was a longer show than the other two we've done so far, plus we've just been busy with other stuff. Like, for like a week straight, like, or like 2 weeks or something like that, we kept like planning to record it, and then just something would happen to one of us.
Pretty much. Last week I had no fucking Wi-Fi in my house.
Yeah, and then like before that, there was like you were doing this, you don't have to get the vaccine, then you just had to go into work anyway.
Yeah, I was gonna have a day off to kind of recuperate from getting the vaccine, and then, yeah, I had to go into work anyway. Yeah.
Well, either way, we have both finished, and now we're going to talk about Cowboy Bebop and his computer. So
yes. Thanks to Martin made sure that I did not forget to include that one infamous fucking image.
Yeah.
I have another thing like sitting that I want to bring up at some point. I'm gonna be disappointed if I don't get a chance to. But in the meantime, Cowboy Bebop, the show that's what came up on the stream last time. We both watched through it. On the whole, what were your thoughts?
That's actually kind of hard to say.
Yeah.
Let's see. I definitely liked the show more than I did.
Yeah. That's a good segue, because I think to start off, I did want to talk a little bit about like after we get the initial thoughts, I did want to talk about how big this show was, and kind of the impact it had, like the way we both felt about at the time it was airing.
Yeah, because this is kind of a sacred cow of a show.
Yeah, this was the show for a while. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Real quick, hang on, let me see something here. When was this released?
Wanting to say 98?
Something like that. Yeah, you're right. The first episode aired on April 3rd, 1998.
I remember looking it up recently.
Ah, okay. There's another date-related thing that's gonna we're gonna.
Even though it's 1998, because the main villain is Sephiroth.
Oh God, yeah, we're gonna have to talk. Another thing we're just gonna have to talk.
I don't think that's intentional.
I don't see how it couldn't be.
I don't think timeline-wise they'd line up. Plus, I mean, it's not like very deep or interesting character in either case, you know.
Sephiroth had more going on than this guy. Anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah, on the whole, you like it more than you did. I remember when it came up, you weren't super eager to revisit this one.
No, okay, here's kind of always been my stance on Cowboy Bebop, is just sort of like never really knew what tone it was supposed to be.
Yeah.
Kind of a scattershot mess, and largely just kind of found it boring.
You say you like it more now. Do you now know what tone it's trying to be?
No. I would say the only one of those issues I would say rewatching it resolved is it was more interesting than I remember. But...
Yeah. I was also
but in general, this show kind of the tone is just kind of yes.
Yeah, the tone is all over the place. That's which I want to talk about more on that in a second, but for now I just want to say for me, I was super into this show when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Like I think the reason is because up until that point, I've been into anime, but there had nothing had ever hit me emotionally the same way that Cowboy Bebop did up to that point in my life. Like this was before I got into Evangelion. This was before I got into Watamote or any of the other anime or Summer Wars. Summer Wars and Watamote obviously weren't things at that point.
Yeah.
But those are things that really do hit me on an emotional level, and Cowboy Bebop was the best of those I got. I think up until that point the anime that gave me the most feels probably fucking Magical Project S.
Yeah.
It should be on the list.
We should have. Yeah, I was gonna say we should put that on the list, but it's like, it wasn't dubbed.
I might be
And it's
willing.
like 24 episodes. It would take us forever to watch it.
Damn it. I might argue about this later.
You know what? I would stick it on there now anyway, just on the basis like, if it comes up now, it's fate.
Yeah, that's a good point. But yeah, it hit me in a. Now looking back, I can appreciate. It hits me in a different way. It's still very emotional. It's still very cool to look back on, but a lot of it does. There are certain parts that I appreciate now more than I'm older, and certain parts that I just think are stupid and edgelordy.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, I would say the biggest thing about this show, which I guess we should probably get into like the specifics of it in a minute and stuff in terms of like what the show's like, in case someone doesn't know somehow.
Yeah.
The biggest thing about this show is like, oh my god, this was never designed to be binged.
No, that was a huge problem because, like we said, the tone was all fucking over the place. On the one hand, I think that's kind of cool because it does mean that every episode kind of has its own feel to it. It's sort of like it actually sort of is like listening to an album of music where every song can kind of feel different and every song can feel like it's doing its own thing. But when you have to sit down and binge it, it's actually pretty insufferable.
Yeah, it was something like I was kind of watching like 3 or 4 episodes here, 3 or 4 there.
Yeah.
For a bit until I just kind of got through it. Like we both only actually finished it like earlier tonight.
Yeah. Yeah. It's it when you binge this show, you really do get hit by tone whiplash really hard.
Yeah. That said, there's a lot I can definitely respect about the show.
Yeah.
Like in terms of our production, especially for like when it was made, it's like top notch.
Oh, it is. In terms of tone and like it's that kind of like objective quality sort of factor.
Yeah.
I think it might be possibly on an objective level the best anime TV show I've seen.
I find that kind of thing hard to quantify. Yeah. But it is something where the show does, in terms of everything about its presentation, like visually, musically, tonally, like, I mean, not tonally, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, in terms of setting a mood, like, the overall just kind of, like, feel of things, like, it nails all of that, you know?
Yeah. I think the tone does usually get the tone it's going for, usually.
It does.
But, I mean, it's just the tone is constantly changing.
And there are quite a few episodes where it's like, I don't know what this episode was actually supposed to make me feel.
Yeah, I actually really love that. I love shows that can make like or media that can make it difficult to know what the intended response is.
Yeah.
One of my favorite episode of the show was yeah, I should probably leave off on that, but yeah, there are so many great bits and moments in it, but taken as a whole, it's very messy. And when you have to go, and when you have to binge, and when you're not watching them week by week or night by night, you're watching them as like in a row, you do get kind of this whiplash feeling that is not comfortable.
Yeah, I do get the sense if I'd been watching this just now week to week,
yeah,
I would have probably been like way more into it.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, trying to watch like even just like watching more than like 2 or 3 episodes at a time of the show is just kind of exhausting.
Yeah. And not the good kind of exhausting, where you feel worn out but you're satisfied.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, though I will give it this, and like another thing along that line.
Yeah.
Is the show is like very good at maximizing its runtime.
Oh yeah, like every episode is kind of like a miniature movie.
Yeah.
Because everything is mostly self-contained. Like you get a lot in you get a shit ton out of 24 minutes.
Yeah.
But yeah, after how do you feel about should we talk about like some of the tone issue? One tone issue I do want to talk about.
I think we need to back up and kind of lay the groundwork for like what Cowboy Bebop is first.
Okay. God, where do we start? Is a science fiction show set in. Okay. Humanity has colonized every solid body in the solar system. I think.
Yeah.
At least most of them. The ones that are like, I don't think you ever see anything past Jupiter, but either way.
I don't know how the hell they colonized Jupiter, but
No, the moons of Jupiter.
alright.
The solid bodies, like they mention, they mention Ganymede. They mention they mention a lot of moons in this show.
Yeah.
You know, crime is rampant, and the only way that any governing body has any means of controlling the uncontrollable, which is the crime rate, is to fall back on bounty hunters, the cowboys.
Yeah. Also, Earth has been devastated by something they never really bothered to elaborate on.
Oh no, they one of the gates that they use to fly back and forth between planets.
Yeah, they just don't make it terribly clear what exactly that entailed.
Oh no, it blew up a big chunk of the moon.
Okay.
Like whenever you see the moon in like a sky shot.
Yeah, but I'm not sure how it extends. Like, okay, and also they're like constant meteor showers that keep upsetting like layout of the planet in general.
Oh, that's because once the moon blew up, like the fragments that got broken off are just hitting the planet now.
Okay. Fair enough. I don't know. I was probably just zoning out whenever that episode happened.
The Edward episode is really crummy.
Yeah.
The one that introduces Edward. It's like there's no, like, the budget is fucking nothing.
Yeah, also, like, okay, I like Edward whenever she's just being like weird goofball saying random things.
Yeah.
But in that episode she kinda doesn't shut the fuck up.
Yeah. Like, we gotta talk about Edward, but yeah, for the setting, it's just, yeah. And the first episode, and I want to go into like the tone of the first episode, but do you think that's enough on the setting? Because the setting kind of is, for as much as the setting contributes to the... Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I do honestly kind of feel like if you just kind of took out all the sci-fi elements, the show would barely be any different.
Pretty much, yeah. It's really not that important. It's one of those things.
So, I mean, there are certain episodes that would be the same, certainly, but...
You could still do the fucking, you could still do the Batman episode.
Yeah. Yeah, but you couldn't still do, like, the, like, Chess Master internet thing.
No, you still could. There are online internet games now.
Yeah, but I don't know if it'd work as well for, like, this whole, like, elaborate 50-year plan to, like,
Yeah, possibly. Actually, there is one thing about the setting I want to bring up. I've been holding... because it took us so long...
TV Ghost.
The what? Oh yeah, the TV Ghost one. Yeah, that one was pretty out there. One thing about the setting I really want to talk to you about. I've been holding off mentioning it when we just discussed the show between ourselves, so I can mention it while we're on stream. Did you happen to catch the year this show is set?
I want to say it was like 2070 something.
2071.
Okay.
We're recording this in 2021. In 50 years. What the fuck?
Yeah. I mean, I don't think we're in a position to cast stones over, like, not setting your story far enough in the future to avoid becoming outdated.
You fucking bastard. Yeah, that's... Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Oh, I had a whole rant prepared, and now you've just ruined it.
Yeah.
Oh god, you're right.
Yeah.
That does kind of emphasize the point of, like, yeah, fuck realism, it's just setting a tone. That's why Mars is basically Eastern Texas.
Yeah.
One thing about tone I wanted to bring up, and it's related to the story and the setting.
Yes.
Because this is going to be a recurring thing for a lot of upcoming anime.
Okay, actually, real quick, I feel like we should specify we didn't watch the movie.
No. I've seen the movie, I didn't rewatch it for this.
I haven't seen it.
It's okay. It's kind of like it nicely encompasses everything that happens in the show, more or less.
Yeah. I just figured that should bear mentioning real quick, just on the basis of, like, yeah, we did not include the movie in this. We might come back around to the movie later.
Yeah. It's good.
That said, I feel like trying to sit through a movie of this show would be exhausting.
Actually, no. The movie's pretty easy to get through because it keeps a more consistent tone than the show usually does.
Yeah. Okay, anyway, yes. Problem tone setting. Yeah.
Okay, one thing that annoys me a lot for a lot of anime, and this is going to be to the point that this is going to be a recurring complaint from me, is bad first episodes.
Yeah. I didn't think the first episode was like necessarily bad, but it's not an ideal introduction, certainly.
No, the bad episode makes this show look a lot more grim and like sinister than it really is.
Yeah. Honestly, the first few episodes aren't that great.
No, it's not. I think the show, it's one of those shows that gets a way better as it goes along and then the ending happens. But yeah, the first couple of episodes are really crummy.
Yeah. Introducing Faye helps give the show a lot more of a pulse.
Yeah, Faye brings a lot to the table.
Yeah.
But the first episode implies this kind of like grim, super if you ever seen No Country for Old Men, kind of that air of just this horrifying, like, lawless, sunburnt land where the good die young. And then the rest of the show isn't usually that grim until except for like one or two points.
Yeah.
It's not a bad episode, but it does paint a really like it's not very welcoming, and it doesn't paint a good picture of what the rest of the show is going to be like.
One thing I will give the first episode as a plus is it does lay the groundwork for kind of an undercurrent that runs throughout the whole show of just have constant death imagery surrounding Spike.
Yeah, that's very consistent.
It's like the first episode certainly lays the groundwork for that.
And it's never too in your face. It's never, oh, you get it, he's gonna die soon.
Yeah, it's usually kind of one of those things like you kind of just pick up on knowing where it's going.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, because I don't think we're gonna. I don't think we're blowing anybody's mind. Spike dies at the end.
Maybe.
Oh, God, I have like a huge rant about the ending. I'm gonna have to get to. Should we go on about the characters? Because I think I've said everything I wanted to say about the setting.
Yeah. Sounds good. I find this show kind of incredibly hard to talk about because it's like it's Cowboy Bebop. Everyone kind of knows it, you know.
I still think there's a lot to be said about like our particular experience and our feedback to it, and that's kind of what
True, but I mean, I find it kind of hard to like, oh, you know, here's your cast that you already know about. Like,
yeah. Yeah. Okay. Let me start off on Spike then, because I think I know exactly how to sum it up.
Yeah.
He is a former criminal. He used to be part of an organized crime syndicate. He is on the run after having his heart broken, and he is making his way through the galaxy as a bounty hunter, and I am saying this in a way that makes it sound like I give a shit, despite the fact that I really don't.
Yeah, here's my stance on Spike.
Yeah.
Okay. He has his moments where he's like kind of entertaining or has like some like decent connection with other characters and stuff, but I'm like 90%. I'm pretty sure like 90% of it is Steve Blum.
Yeah. The only good thing I can say about Spike, like the best thing I can say about Spike as a character is that it makes you really appreciate how good of an actor Steve Blum is.
Yeah.
He absolutely brings so much likability and charisma to this role that's otherwise just really boring.
Yeah. It kind of depends episode to episode. Like, yeah. I don't find Spike actively unlikable.
No, he's not actively unlikable, but he doesn't really suck you in either. And every time, and this is kind of the kicker, every time they went into his backstory, I fucking hated it.
Yeah, I never saw any reason I should care about the Red Dragon.
Yeah.
But just, where's Movado at?
Yeah. It gets to the point that a big part of his character is like.
I would not have been surprised if Zuhal turned up in this show.
I don't think I know who that is.
The member of the Red Dragon from Mortal Kombat, like the Chinese-looking, like Mongolian guy.
Okay,
with the, like,
yeah, I always
hat.
I always just think of the Black Dragon. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, the Red Dragon was like the spinoff, or okay. The Red Dragon came first in the universe. It was like a spinoff group out of the universe.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I was just making stupid Mortal Kombat jokes.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry, man.
Yeah. One thing I do like about Spike is that they never really feel the need to actually tell you his backstory.
No, I like that you're given fragments and you can kind of put it together, but yeah, they never quite feel a need to elaborate on it, and I can appreciate that for storytelling.
Like I said, one thing I don't think is done well is this kind of more going into like specific problems with the ending, but
yeah,
on the whole, so much of the characterization is tied to Julia, and I never feel like I have any reason to care about Julia.
No, she is like you say it yourself. She has 5 minutes of screen time, maybe.
Yeah.
At most.
Yeah.
And when she shows up, it's like, oh, it's you. Nobody knows or cares anything about you because we've never been with you.
Yeah.
I'll give yeah, so it's just he's very much kind of the LVP because even in terms of a narrative structure, he doesn't impact the narrative of each episode very much.
Yeah, it kind of depends. Like he does certainly feel like the main character.
I don't know. I'd argue Jet feels more like the main character.
I don't know. It's like anytime there's like okay, big dramatic showdown we need to have happen, Spike is always the one that steps up and does it.
Yeah, but that's because he just seems to be the best fighter.
Yeah. I don't know, it feels to me like he's like always getting more screen time than everybody else.
Yeah, but I think that's because he is. That's like because he is the main character. I just feel like somebody else would have been a better fit.
Yeah.
Like I'm kind of I'm more interested in the story of everyone else.
Yeah. Honestly, I probably am more interested in Ein than him.
Yeah.
Although Ein's introductory episode isn't very good.
No, Ein's introductory episode sucks.
Yeah.
It's like we get it. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was in a movie with Bruce Lee. That's why you're having him fight Spike. I will give. Wait, there is one thing else about Spike I want to talk about. I do really love his design.
Yeah, it is a really good design. They like do a lot with it.
It's something that it's something that could very easily make him look like a big goofball, but they stick the landing and he comes off as super badass.
Yeah. I do feel like they kind of frequently draw him with shoulders too wide, but whatever.
Yeah, that's just an artwork thing. And one thing I wanted to bring up, I tracked this down. Did you ever read the manga of Cowboy Bebop?
No.
Okay, I picked this up when I was a kid, and
yeah, well, the anime came first, but
yeah, it's one of those. It's one of those things like Fooly Cooly or like Evangelion, where the anime came first, and then they made a manga. But there was the standard manga which I never found as a kid. Instead, I was able to find what appeared to be like an AU sort of spin-off manga called Cowboy Bebop Shooting Star.
Yeah, I've heard of that. It was like running like during the show and was like abruptly canceled.
Yeah. I remembered this when I was thinking about how good Spike's design is because Shooting Star changed Spike's design. Do you want to see it?
Sure.
Hang on 1 second. I made sure to have it included. There we go.
Okay, I'll need to wait for this to catch up, I guess.
Oh shit. Sorry.
Okay, yeah, there we go.
There's a slight.
Yeah, it's just different enough. Like, yeah, that doesn't work.
Yeah.
He looks like Kenshin.
He looks like Kenshin or like a random palace owner in Persona 5.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like it takes away all the fuzziness of the hair. I think the hair itself looks a lot dumber and more kind of
also
busy.
Too expressive.
It's too expressive and it's too busy.
Yeah.
I might.
Because one of the things I think works best about Spike is just how understated everything about him is.
Yeah. Yeah, he looks very unassuming.
Yeah. Okay, so that's Spike. Guess we talked about Jet next.
Yeah, Jet by the end of it was my favorite character.
I find it hard to gauge because for the most part, it feels like he doesn't have to do that much.
It doesn't feel like he
does.
But
I do feel like whenever he does do stuff, he's usually really good.
At the same time, it feels like he also does everything because he has every. I started to think like, Jesus, was this guy like fucking Batman before he retired, like, or became a bounty hunter? Think about it. He's a hacker. He's a starship maintenance guy. He knows forensics. he knows interrogation. He keeps up with all the gadgets and shit on the ship.
He's apparently a really good actor.
Apparently, yeah. Apparently, I think they say at one point he's a blues hound.
Yeah.
It's like so much fucking shit. It's like I kept getting the feeling like between this and the fact that he usually is the one who makes whenever the team needs to decide on something, he's usually the one that makes the decision.
Yeah.
He's the only one who has something resembling a moral compass.
I would say they all do to varying degrees.
Him more so than anyone else, though.
Yeah.
All of that kind of made me feel like I kind of want him to be the main character.
Yeah, I do think he's the kind of character who works better, best as a supporting one.
Yeah, possibly.
Just because the fact that so much of him is kind of understated, and everyone kind of plays off of him.
Yeah. But at the same time, that also would make him a good a focal character for everyone else to rally around.
Yeah, true. I feel like he's a little too low key to be the lead.
Yeah, I guess so. I think at the same time, I was much more interested in his backstory than I was Spike's.
Yeah, that's it. His episodes are usually pretty good. So
yeah.
Usually, Boogie Woogie Feng Shui is pretty.
Boogie Woogie Feng Shui felt to me like the first episode of a shonen series, like a Saturday morning style thing.
The primary opinion I had on that was wow, this woman can't act.
Yeah, the guest star they the one shot episode star they had one on for that one is so fucking wooden.
Yeah.
But that episode had the feel of a Saturday morning show. You have this narration thing that feels like it's out of a different series than Bebop. You have they explicitly mention that they're never killing anybody. Even when they're fighting other ships, they're mentioned as being robots.
Yeah.
There's this kind of mechanic that feels like it would be a driving force in another show. It felt like a stealth pilot, except I seriously doubt that's what it was.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah, I do think Jet's episodes tend to be probably the best ones. I don't know, you'd probably make an argument for Faye's.
Yeah, Faye has some pretty good ones too.
Wait, I guess we should talk about her then.
I think my favorite. I think my favorites are usually the ensemble ones.
Yeah.
My favorite. I think
it is kind of nice whenever everybody's getting something to do.
Yeah, I think my two favorites are probably Brain Scratch and the chess episode.
Yeah, those are both pretty good.
Oh, and the Batman episode, the Matt Poirot.
Yeah,
where Spike just fights
the one where we're just alien now. That one's fun too.
Oh yeah, that one's great. The one with the weirdest possible ending.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna need to talk more specifically about episodes later.
Yeah, yeah. The really good ones and the really bad ones.
Yeah. But yeah, I suppose we should probably talk about Faye then.
Yeah.
Okay, so I find Faye a complicated character. I do feel like, in a lot of respects, she's kind of the most actively entertaining.
But yeah, okay. I'm gonna say this on Faye. She's a character I couldn't stand as a kid.
Yeah.
And I think that's because just a lot of the humor with her was going over my head.
Yeah.
Her shtick is that she's a gambling addict with amnesia.
Yeah.
We find out her very sad backstory, and she's she's just trying to make her way in the world after getting all this crippling debt because she was in a medical coma. And good to know, she woke up from a coma and said, "Your treatment cost $1 bazillion. Pay us now."
Yeah. But their system never got any better.
Yeah, nice to know that the medical system of the future is the same as the medical system of today.
Yeah.
There's some comfort to be taken from consistency.
Yeah. They just keep electing cybernetic Mitch McConnell.
It turns out he really is a tortoise.
Yeah. But yeah, so Faye, yeah, basically she's just kind of like sort of freelance, like kind of does whatever sort of one who just kind of winds up with the crew.
Yeah.
Um, and okay, so yeah, I do think Faye adds a lot of like pulse to the show, and there's a lot of like good humor with her and stuff, and
Oh, yeah.
her backstory is like genuinely really interesting.
Yeah.
Especially because you never really get that much in the way of specifics on it.
No. It's very interesting and very sad, and I think a lot of the reveal moments are really, really well done. I love the part where she's in the shower and her childhood memories come back to her.
Yeah, I think the highlight with that might be the cheerleading then.
Oh yeah, that we gotta talk about that specific episode because that hit me really hard as an adult. Like, oh damn.
Yeah.
That's another really good one.
Yeah. So the biggest issues with Faye are like, one, it does kind of feel like she's largely there to just be a damsel.
Yeah. She gets kidnapped all the fucking time.
Yeah. And like, or like she'll swoop in to save the day and then just get like knocked out, and then that's the end of it.
Yeah, you're right.
And two, I don't really entirely understand why they keep her around until she like backstabs them constantly.
Yeah, that's one of the things that really just gets to you after a while. It's just
Yeah.
Because yeah, that was why I hated her as a kid, because it just seemed like she was always causing trouble, and I never got any of the humor related with her.
Yeah.
Because it is always a thing of, oh, Faye left the ship, and she has a Faye left the ship, and she took all of the coolant.
Yeah.
Or, oh, we're trapped in the middle of we're trapped adrift, and we have no food, but because Faye ate all the rations.
Yeah.
That actually is one of the that's actually a pretty good subtle joke. Every time Faye eats, she eats fucking everything.
Yeah.
One of my favorite like little jokes with Faye, which again I didn't appreciate when I was a kid, is when she sees Ein like begging as Bull, opens the fridge, the only food left is a can of dog food for Ein, and she eats it in front of him.
Yeah.
I think, like, when I was a kid, I just thought, oh wow, Faye's really mean. As an adult, I just see that and just see that it didn't occur to me the humor of like, look, it's different. Look, it's different for us girls. We have to be pampered, and then just immediately scarfing down the dog food like messily and loud, like nom nom nom.
Yeah.
Really funny bit. But yeah, it always just struck me as weird as to why do they keep Faye around?
Yeah.
She genuinely causes more problems than she solves.
Yeah. Like I can only think of a small handful of episodes where she's actually useful.
Yeah.
Like...
And they're doing this thing with her character development where they mentioned several times that because she's been fucked over by so many people, both institutions and individual people, that she has difficulty getting close to anyone.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of why she keeps fucking over the Bebop crew.
Yeah.
But mentioning that she does probably have some real affection for them. But
the hair's kind of a bit over exaggerated.
It is, yeah.
She could. Like, yeah, it's like I do think that there is kind of a feel of that develops as the show goes, but it's like it kind of takes a while.
Yeah, and then again, we're gonna have to talk about the ending. The ending just says "fuck that shit."
Yeah, the ending's weird, and the show just kind of stops.
Right? Oh yeah, what happens to Faye and Jet? Fuck you.
Yeah. Okay. First, okay, we should probably talk about Ed first.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah, let's talk about Ed, who is either your least favorite part of the show or your overwhelmingly favorite part of the show.
Yeah.
There's no in between on Ed. Everybody either loves her or hates her.
Yeah. Yeah, Edward is complicated. Okay, basically she's like little girl hacker who's like very quirky.
Yeah.
Ends up with the group. I do think that like I do like her.
Yeah.
Like, quite a bit really. It's just like her first episode is not a good introduction.
It is not, and that's Like, that's another thing we're going to complain about as for different shows. Your introduction makes a big difference.
Yeah.
Like, get used to that whenever we talk about my hero, because even as a fan of the show, I have a big problem with the way a lot of characters are presented.
Yeah. 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 In general, I kind of feel like with Edward, like she's kind of at her best, or she's like not. How to put this? There's kind of a tricky line to walk with in terms of like how they use her.
Yeah.
Because like whenever she's on screen too much, it's annoying.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's nothing's really gained from the episodes where it just cut to her waving her arms for a minute and that's it.
Yeah, a lot of episodes feel like they don't know what to do with her.
Yeah. In general, nothing to convince me this show was terribly planned out from the start.
No. This is the anime equivalent of a jam session.
Yeah.
This is a bunch of this is just a bunch of people.
Yeah. Because by the end of it, Edward does not feel like the same character she started as, and not in like a character development way.
No, she. Okay, here's just a general problem with Edward. She comes off like an alien.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't. The rest of the show, despite being set in space, blah blah, it's very mundane. It's very normal. Edward is so out there that she feels like she should be. She feels like she should be with the Guardians of the Galaxy or something.
Yeah. Also, she doesn't seem to have a nose unless you're looking at her from the side. So
yeah. Again, she's not even drawn the same way as all the other characters.
Yeah.
The Shooting Star manga changed the way that she was drawn too. Let me see if I can look it up. I want to say she came out better from the redesign than Spike. It was very subtle.
I do think the last episode is missing something for not having her.
Yeah, because I find Shoo Out the Clowns to be a very annoying trope when it happens.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, so did she just like wander off into the distance and die somewhere, or what? Like,
yeah, I guess they say that she's going to be going. That I think the implication is that she's going to be going after her dad, but her dad doesn't even know who she is or what gender she is.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know. I can't really read that as a happy ending. And yeah, the ending of the series proper isn't happy, but yeah, I just could not stand this fucking shit. I really did.
I like how like Edward is like low key the most useful member of the group.
Pretty much, yeah. To the point that some episodes feel like they have to write her out somehow.
Yeah. Right, and also Ein is there.
Ein is a super intelligent Welsh corgi. That's all you need to know.
Yeah.
Welsh corgis are cute.
Also, he talks in one scene.
Not even a scene, a preview.
Oh, no, besides that. There was a...
oh, we were with the cow!
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I loved that bit.
Yeah.
That's probably one of the funniest parts of that episode.
Yeah.
But yeah, all together, they come together, they come together to form, like, the cast of the, what the fuck is the exact name of that? Ragtag bunch of misfits, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Trying to make their way through the galaxy together, making money and earning bounties.
Yeah. Fred Edward isn't even in that much of the show. She doesn't debut until almost halfway through it.
No, her first episode was episode 9.
Yeah.
Ay. Yeah, it makes sense as to why everyone is either loves or hates her.
Yeah. Like, I definitely lean in favor of her, but it's like, yeah, I don't think her introduction's a good one.
No. No, it is not.
You know what it is? I think that they weren't kind of, like, at that point, they kind of weren't prepared to go weird enough with her.
Yeah.
But they were still trying to keep her a bit grounded.
Yeah, as opposed to later episodes, which are just like, fuck it, she's not even human.
Yeah. It is interesting, despite being, like, space sci-fi travel show, there are no aliens in it.
Yeah, I can appreciate them keeping it grounded enough that they're, that they I think there are alien species, like on different planets, but there's no, yeah, that's, like, there's no sentient, like, starship people.
Yeah.
It reminded me a lot of Red Dwarf in that way.
I don't know. I feel like her shoulders look like massive compared to her torso.
Yeah. Yeah, let me rein those in.
Yeah. Hope everyone's enjoying our random stray comments about drawing a comic. But...
Yeah. I gotta do something while we talk.
Yeah.
Did I leave open? Okay, no. I was, for a second I was afraid, like, did I leave open the shooting star picture? Okay, no, it's gone.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, so, okay, what, I guess we should probably talk about specific episodes then? I don't want to watch an episode by episode breakdown, but there are a few I want to talk about.
Yeah, which, do you want to start us off in this one? Which episode, like, really stuck with you? Or which episode do you really hate? We talked about the first one.
Yeah. Let's see. I'm kind of trying to decide, like, okay, do I want to go ahead and start talking about Vicious, or do I want to, like, get into, like, one of the, like, better episodes first?
Maybe leave off on, maybe go into one of the better episodes, because Vicious is going to come up when we talk about the ending.
Yeah, okay, let's talk about a Jet backstory episode.
Was that the first point in the... You said that when you watched it, that was one of your favorite episodes, right? No, yeah. That was one of the ones that really stuck with you.
Yeah, to some extent, yeah.
Was that the first one that really left an emotional impact?
Not really. Like, All Hand Heavy Metal Queen was pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
It's like that just, like, looking over the list, that's the first one that kind of stood out to me, is like, oh yeah, this kind of warrants, like, further discussion.
Yeah. Yeah, because Heavy Metal Queen is good, but it doesn't, like, have an impact.
There's not that much to talk about with it.
No, I like the ending.
Yeah. Or the, like, weird harmonica kid.
Yeah, you summed that up perfectly when you said this is if Batman Beyond did a Baby Doll episode.
Yeah. Well, I don't think it's bad necessarily, just strange.
It does set a precedent for episodes where Spike has no idea what's going on.
Yeah. It's weird how much of a recurring theme that is.
I can actually kind of dig a series where the main character is never given the full context of what's happening around them.
Yeah.
Around the same time I was reading this, I was reading
Also, Spike really likes, like, okay, go into impossible fight, okay, win in one hit.
Yeah. Oh god, yeah, they do pull that off all the time.
Like, right on top of my head, I think at least 3 times he did that.
I don't know, does Poirot count?
Yeah, well, I mean, he did win in one hit.
No, he had several hits, it's just only one of them landed.
Well, yeah.
But, yeah, with the... Yeah, around the same on the main character doesn't know what's going on. Around the same time I was watching this for the first time. I was reading I was getting into first getting into comic books, and I had read around the same time I was like getting into Cowboy Bebop. I was reading Animal Man by Grant Morrison, which also had that whole like main character doesn't know shit kind of thing going on about it.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, Jet backstory episode. I'm not actually entirely sure how much I really had to say about it, but I do think it's a very good episode. Like, it's probably the first one I feel like probably... It's the first one that I think that feels like, okay, this is what it shows like this is what the show's like at its peak.
Yeah, yeah. One thing about
I feel like most people would probably say that about
Jupiter Jazz.
Ballad of Fallen Angels, but it's like, okay, that episode has its moments, but
yeah, no.
I don't care about Vicious.
Honestly, the most interesting part I thought about that episode was when that guy at the beginning gets killed.
Yeah.
Like the one organized crime boss who's trying to make things a little bit more peaceful, being killed because his own organization is too ruthless.
Yeah. Like that, and I don't need the cathedral bit. But
yeah, it's okay.
It's kind of so played out that it didn't really do that much for me, but I'll still give it an acknowledgement.
Yeah. One thing on the Jet backstory, okay, he goes back to his home satellite, meets with the old girlfriend, asks why you left. She says no. Turns out there's a bounty, blah blah. One thing that I'm realizing as we're talking about this particular episode, we never get the full detail on any of their backstories.
Yeah. Yeah, I do think it kind of works for the show. I mean, I just have Edwards. You pretty much get most of pertinent information, but
yeah.
But yeah, I do think it kind of works in the show's benefit.
Yeah.
That, like, it kind of knows it doesn't need to get bogged down that much in that. Granted, that does hurt the Julia stuff.
Yeah, it really does. It really makes Julia seem a lot more flat, which is when you get to the ending and she's supposed to be a thing you really care about, it really doesn't land.
Yeah. Right, that also kind of works in the broader context of how the show is, like, the biggest theme of the show is being bogged down in the past.
Yeah, you're right.
Which is a constant motif throughout, like, nearly every episode.
Yeah, pretty much.
So it's like, it fits to not really actually give much context.
Yeah, because it's not important. You can move on from it. And the episode with, the episode we're talking about, he does move on. He gets closure.
Yeah.
It's one of the few times you see a character doing this.
Yeah.
In most episodes, they're still hung up on it for some reason or another.
Yeah. Even just, like, straight villains of the week or whatever are usually hung up on something from the past.
Yeah, it's always like, you betray me.
It's always like that, or even just like, it's person who couldn't handle, like, this cover-up or whatever, so, like, 50 years ago, arranged this whole massive, steam, or, Unstoppable Killing Machine, who's, like, only really hindered by the fact that he's still hung up on, like, awful shit he went through, and it, like, kind of triggers him.
Yeah. Wait, when was that one?
The Mad Pro.
Oh, okay.
Because he freaks the fuck out anytime he sees tats.
Oh. Well, he was also like rendered mentally ill by the thing.
Well, yes, but I mean, like, that's the only thing that can actually stop him, though.
Oh yeah, good point. Yeah, because he sees that Spike's eyes are different colors.
Right.
Yeah, you're right.
It's like, it is a constant motif throughout the whole show of just, like, people being hung up on the past. Like, everybody is.
Yeah.
Except Edward, I guess. She doesn't really seem to care.
No, even then, it ends with her going back to her dad, who previously abandoned her.
Yeah.
But yeah, but from the brief snippets we get from the Jet backstory episode, it could read that he was abusive to her. But it could also read that she was making a mistake in leaving him. It could make it like you're given pieces and you're never the complete story.
Yeah. Yeah. In general, there's not ever safe for the end, but I feel like it kind of works better for like demonstrating my thought process now.
Yeah.
It's a show where I do respect it a lot more than I actually like it.
Yeah. Yeah, some series are just like that.
I can see myself going forward, like, again, it's not caught in the head, but I feel like it's pertinent to just bring it up.
Yeah.
I did see myself going forward, like, turning on an episode just to kill some time.
Yeah.
I don't see myself binging this show again.
No, like we said, this show is not meant to be binged. Holy shit.
Yeah. Like, it's exhausting to watch more than 3-4 episodes at a time.
Yeah, it really is.
Which honestly is kind of a testament to it, just because the episodes are so dense.
Yeah.
They're all not they're not all making a broader point. For instance, there's the alien one, which is just fun.
Yeah, there's some episodes that are just goofy and ridiculous.
Yeah.
Should we talk about the alien one next? I actually think it's the
Yeah,
next.
that's what I was thinking. Yeah, it's the next episode after that one.
Yeah, yeah.
Um.
How do we even talk about this one?
Yeah, it's just we felt like making a slasher movie today.
Yeah, it's just the crew were killing time in between stuff, like in between planets. Like something starts killing everybody on the ship, and they have to stop it. And the whole thing feels kind of more like a parody of of the first Alien Xenomorph movie, uh, slasher flicks in general. It's just very silly.
Yeah.
And it's really different compared to everything else on the show.
Yeah, it does feel very like they're probably weirder episodes, but still a pretty weird episode.
Yeah. Open the list myself because I'm going off memory here, and I keep wanting to skip ahead to later episodes because I feel like the individual episodes get better as the show goes along.
Yeah.
Can we talk about? Let's leave.
And the alien episode ends with them all dying and it becoming Cowgirl Ed.
Yeah. What the fuck? We were cheated, Martin.
Yeah. I think that's probably my favorite next episode preview.
It's either that or the one where Ein talks.
Yeah.
Or the one that's just maniacal laughter.
Yeah.
Oh, one of the better episodes I think was Speak Like a Child.
Yeah. Which one was that?
That was the cheerleading episode.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that one's actually very well done because of the fact that like it does a good job of like being a wacky comedy episode like the entire ride through, and then it just hits a wall.
Yeah, like it's
not in a way that feels jarring.
Yeah,
like just in a way that feels like a punch in the gut.
Yeah, the Bebop crew get a package for Faye. She decides she doesn't want it. She spends the entire episode like just away from the crew, just gambling and kind of indulging her very worst vices.
Yeah,
being a shitty person, blowing off and leaving debts for Jet to clean up.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Jet and Spike and Ed are going nuts trying to figure out it's a Betamax videotape.
Yeah.
that they got in the mail. So they're all.
I think the joke of that episode is supposed to be like, oh look, these things are common, but like nowadays it's like, no, what the fuck is Betamax?
Yeah, that joke is funnier now.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Like, why the hell did she record a message on Betamax?
Seriously, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Either way, they're going nuts, just going through like all kinds of wacky hijinks, trying to find something that can play this fucking videotape just to see what's on it.
Yeah.
And it turns out
I felt bad for that guy where Spike just smashes his shit and leaves.
I love that bit. I love just like again, Steve Bloom's great delivery. Like my shit works better when I kick it.
Yeah. Even after it's clearly broken, he just continues to kick.
Oh god, you're right. Yeah, that was a great bit.
Yeah, that's a really good episode. Especially like the cheerleading bit at the end.
Yeah, because it turns out it's a video from Faye to herself from when she was a little girl in fucking like grade school. That
read like middle or high school to me, but either way, it's like definitely younger.
Yeah, I think it was middle school. I think.
Yeah.
It didn't feel like high school.
Yeah.
Anyway, just giving a cheer to herself to not give up, don't lay down to adversity, and continue to be a good person. After she had spent her the entire episode being a shitty person.
Yeah.
And the weird thing is, like, do you remember how that episode opens?
Wasn't it them like delivering the tape and then she runs off instead of paying for it because she thinks it's like for her? Find her.
Like it's a bomb.
Yeah.
Because she owes so much money to so many people, she just assumes that people are mailing her bombs now.
Yeah.
No, it opens before that. Before they get the package, it opens with Jet telling them about the story of Ryokujo.
Yeah.
Which is a Japanese folktale about a man being given a box by some spirits by a tortoise he befriended. And when he opens and he goes home with the box, he finds out that he's in an unfamiliar place. Years have passed while he was with the tortoise.
Yeah.
He's now in a strange, unfamiliar world that he doesn't recognize, and some people he makes friends with some locals, and the locals open the box that he was told not to open.
Yeah.
And then when it's opened, he turns into an old man.
Yeah.
That's what happens to Faye in the episode.
Pretty much, yeah.
That's her backstory. Yeah.
Yeah. In general, I think that one of the low-key best things about the show is whenever characters are just telling stories.
Yeah. That's one thing I like about Jet. He did that all the time, and it was great.
Yeah.
It just really goofy.
I think it usually works pretty well when Spike does it too.
Yeah, I think the tiger striped cat thing at the ending just
that one was kind of weird.
That was just hokey.
Yeah,
it's
like too on the nose.
We get it. We get it. You and Vicious have a tiger dragon thing going on. Shut up.
It was weird how he didn't actually seem that bothered by the Julia thing.
Right? He's just there laughing it off.
Yeah.
Dude, your girl just got shot in front of you.
Yeah. Like, her being mentioned in previous episodes sent you in a ballistic rage, and now you just saw her die, and you're like, well, that bummed me out.
Yeah. Yeah, you got any bell peppers?
Yeah.
I do one thing I do one running joke on the show I do fucking love is how many jokes they get out of the fact that the crew is always broke and never has any food.
Yeah. Careful, you don't just doing salsa in that.
Was that I knew about the joke with the dog. Is that a thing with for the rest of the show?
Pretty much. I mean, it's largely in the context of the dog, but yes.
Okay. I do just love how many gags there are of just opening the Faye eating the dog food because there's no human food left.
Yeah.
One of my favorite little gags.
Faye eating year-old rations.
Yeah, Faye eating year-old rations, getting super sick. One of my favorite little gags was when Jet is giving exposition about this week's bounty. They're eating cereal because again it's the only food they have, and Spike sees Edward pouring milk into her cereal and doesn't know what she's doing, so he tries to emulate her by pouring his beer into the cereal.
Yeah. He's
still, because it's all they have, he still has to try and eat it afterwards. It's like, oh, it's a tasteless paste.
Yeah.
Great, great little bit.
Honestly, the more I talk about it, the more I'm kind of you know what? Yeah, there was a lot I liked about it. I think it's just so exhausting to a show that it doesn't really entirely sink in.
Yeah. It's a little. It kind of suffers from being too intense, honestly.
Yeah. It's Okay, here I want to talk about this one. Wild Horses.
Yeah. Okay. My pick is that your pick for worst episode because mine's something else. Okay.
Just tells I could not bring myself to care about it at all. It's just nothing but a 20-minute action scene.
It is an episode. Spike has to go in because his ship needs repaired.
It's weird high-five baseball metaphors.
Yeah, there's a crotchety old man and his baseball-loving young assistant who fixes ship for him.
Also, they're both Star Trek references for some reason.
Oh, wait, what were their names?
The guy's name was what was his name? It was the guy who played. 1 second.
While you look that up, I'm just gonna reflect on how many fucking weird references you get in this show.
Yeah. The mechanic's named Doohan.
Oh. Huh.
And his assistant seemed to be designed after Jordy.
Oh shit, he was Jordy. Okay, huh.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just there were so many weird pop culture references in this show. It was Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Punch and Judy.
What's that?
Punch and Judy.
Punch and Judy. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Punch and Judy were their stage names. That wasn't
Oh, I mean, it was a reference to Punch and Judy. That was my point.
Yeah. But I mean, in universe, they just have a bounty who looks like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. They have a bounty who looks like Woody Allen. They have like
They did
Spike.
a whole like blaxploitation episode.
Yeah, they have a blaxploitation episode where Shaft and Cleopatra Jones, legally distinct versions, show up.
Yeah. I don't even know how distinct Shaft was. They called it.
Yeah, they said I'm the younger Shaft brother.
Yeah.
You're right. They didn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
I know. I just love it either.
I'm kind of half surprised they didn't. I'm kind of half surprised they didn't have Woody Allen on the run for a child molestation or something. Like instead he's a bomb peddler.
Yeah.
Yeah,
there are a lot of like weird. In general, I feel like a lot of why this show took off the way it did, and like why it's such a sacred cow.
Yeah.
It's just because of the fact that like it's so heavy in American references compared to most anime.
Yeah, it's so dense.
But it's like it's very distinctly Western. This doesn't feel like it came out of Japan.
No, it kind of doesn't. I can't think of another anime I've seen that even comes close to this level of like Americanization.
Yeah,
because usually when anime try to like aim for that, you can kind of tell, and it doesn't quite.
Usually
work.
get like All Might.
Yeah, usually you get All Might or Fooly Cooley, which is a nonsense word chosen because it sounded American.
Yeah, which not Ryan kind does, but
what does?
Totally. It does kind of sound it.
I don't know. I don't hear it.
Yeah. I don't know. It's something like I feel like if I didn't know what Fully Fully was, and you like told me it was the name of like some like wacky like
it's a soft
high school romance or something, I could kind of believe it. You know.
I don't know. I would still think it would be a foreign thing. It doesn't sound like anything you would get in this country.
Yeah, I don't know. Either way.
But yeah, you're right on All Might. Like, why the fuck does he dress like an American flag and give all of his super moves fucking names of American cities?
Yeah. I wonder how many things on that list we're going to end up referencing only for them to not be what we do next.
Yeah, where are we at now? We're at Magical Project S, My Hero Academia, Excel Saga. Yeah, you're right. We're racking up a lot. All of the things we mentioned are on the list that we're going to randomize.
Yeah, I'm sure at some point during all this, I guess this counts. We're going into talk about Samurai Champloo.
Yeah, God, you're right. Samurai Champloo and Kids on the Slope.
I really hope Samurai Champloo isn't next.
Yeah, no. I also hope Outlaw Star isn't next. I really like Outlaw Star. I might like it more than Bebop, but it's not gonna. I don't want to watch it now.
Also, since it came up earlier, I hope Excel Saga isn't next.
I want to watch Excel Saga immediately after Evangelion.
Yeah, that'd be fun. Well, now Fully Fully is supposed to be like companion show to Evangelion.
Yeah, no, Excel Saga still has a bunch of like it feels similar. Maybe I'm just conflating the fact that Misato and Excel had the same actress.
Yeah. Well, by that logic, we should watch Excel Saga after Sailor Moon.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, we've just revealed what's on half this fucking list.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I don't know. I mean, we didn't bring up Princess Jellyfish.
Oh God, you're right. Yeah, you're right. That's still a secret.
Yeah.
But yeah, Wild Horses, boring as fuck episode. The only interesting part of it is the fact that it was temporarily banned because whatever space shuttle it was that was that they used in the ending blew up in real life that week.
Yeah, there are a lot of banned episodes of the show.
Yeah, there was that one. There was the my least favorite episode was also banned for a long period of time because it's about a terrorist blowing up buildings.
Oh, was it the Cowboy Bebop one?
Yeah, that was banned.
Okay,
that didn't air in the United States for for a really fucking long time because of 9/11.
Yeah. Okay. Honestly, I would say I kind of like that one, but I do have issues with it.
That was my least favorite episode, just because it's a comedy episode, and I didn't find it funny at all.
There were things I thought were funny about it. Like, I think Teddy Bummer himself was pretty funny.
Yeah, the terrorist that year is again going back to weird references. The bounty for that week is Ted Kaczynski.
Yeah. Hippie Jet was fun.
Yeah, Hippie Jet, and also the fact that Jet is reacting to Ted Kaczynski's shtick being teddy bears and dressing in like leaving a bomb at a masquerade party while in a teddy bear costume, just going like, how'd you know it was me?
Yeah. I did think some of the jokes with Andy were funny, like his horse coming up in the elevator.
Yeah, I think most of the jokes with the horse were funny, but I couldn't think of anything about and the samurai bit at the end where he decides he's not going to be a cowboy anymore, he's going to be a samurai. Like, that was funny, but
in general with Andy, I was mostly just distracted, like, oh my god, that's just Cosmo.
With me, I was just like, why is everyone reacting to him this intensely?
Yeah, that was really strange too, and they had to talk about like, oh, you and him are so similar, Spike. It's like, not really.
Spike is not this fucking dumb.
Yeah. Not to mention, like,
honestly,
Spike is a lot more low-key than this.
Yeah. Honestly, you're comparing... I'm not... Like we said, we're not huge fans of Spike as a character, but he was more interesting than this.
In general, I kind of find it eye-rolling anytime anytime a show does that whole, like, oh, you and this, like, guest character of the week, you're so similar, you know that?
Yeah.
Like, I think that basically never works.
No, because you don't have time to know the guy.
Yeah. Usually they just have to, like, write the, like, main character to be, like, similar to how they're writing the guest character.
Yeah, because Spike in that episode is so out of character. Like, he's usually cool and relaxed, and for this one, he's all worked up and pissed off.
Yeah.
Hey. Yeah, that to me was my least favorite episode. Like, I just kept hitting the fucking skip button. Like, oh my god.
Yeah.
No wonder this episode was fucking banned in the United States. It's fucking terrible.
Yeah, it's like, I didn't think that episode was that bad, but different strokes.
Yeah.
Wild Horse I also just thought was fucking boring.
Yeah. I want to say that's when this show is at its worst, when it's just kind of boring to watch because it's usually so intense, but I have a lot of really specific complaints about the ending.
Yeah, my feelings on the last episode are complicated. I think the biggest issue I have with Real Folk Blues, because I guess we're talking about it now.
Yeah, wait, real quick.
Wait, do you want to talk about Brain Scratch first?
Yeah, Brain Scratch, it's another ensemble episode. Like, it's...
Also, we should probably back up and talk about Mushroom Samba, just because it's such a... But, yeah.
I don't know. I like Mushroom Samba, but I don't know how much I even have to say about it.
It just has such a famous episode, it feels weird to put gist over it.
Yeah, but we can talk about it. I just don't have anything to say.
Okay, here's the extent of my opinion on it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of really funny stuff in it, and it's surrounded by a not very interesting Edward plot.
Yeah, Edward doesn't even really impact the plot that much. She's kind of just going around doing stuff. Yeah,
it's kind of one of those things of like, there are a lot of funny moments in the episode, but on the whole, the episode just kind of alright.
Yeah. Kind of the most interesting part is where the rest of the crew are high on mushrooms.
Yeah.
Especially,
I would say Spike is the funniest one of those.
Oh, by far. Especially, like, they work in the death foreshadowing. It's just... I liked it because out of all of them, that's the one that's the most fucking bizarre.
Yeah. Not to mention, it's like after it like cuts to him just like walking in place on the steps, and everyone's like, what?
Yeah.
But yeah, so Brain Scratch.
Yeah, it's another ensemble episode. Everyone kind of gets something to do except Faye. Faye is kidnapped again. Yeah, she actually is really damn delicious, isn't she? But
at least the like cult stuff with her at the start is kind of like intimidating.
It's intimidating because you kind of don't know the bounty that week is a cult leader. You don't know, and Faye joins the cult to try and find out where they are.
Yeah.
But when you first see her, there's a feeling of like, okay, did she just drink the Kool-Aid? Yeah. It's a good mixture of being really intimidating and really funny.
It helps what you know of her character at that point. It would make sense for her to join a cult.
Yeah, holy shit, it actually really would. Yeah, and it all comes together in the most weird fucking way. It turns out that the bounty is like a kid living through a kid on life support communicating through the machines that are scanning his brainwaves. The whole thing, and they have to shut it down to keep him from ensnaring more people. the whole thing has this really melancholy air to it.
Yeah.
And it's one of the ones where I remember finishing and thinking, like, I don't know how to feel, because the crew all kind of pulled together. They saved Faye. They didn't get the bounty, but they did accomplish something and stop a public menace, which I like that in general. Jet is okay with that.
Yeah.
Like, Jet
as the show goes, it feels like the group as a whole is less concerned about whether or not they actually get the money.
Yeah. Like, yeah, Jet in particular, and yeah, the whole crew basically do care less and less about, like, whether they do care more and more about whether or not they're just genuinely helping people and getting and accomplishing justice.
Except Faye to an extent, but even then she isn't as, like, hung up on it.
No.
But yeah,
Brain Scratch.
Yeah, I thought that.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I thought it was a really good episode. At least one issue I had with it.
Yeah.
Actually, a couple. One, I don't actually know how exactly he's like making people do automatos from entering that room.
Oh, I think he's transmitting some kind of like he's transmitting something through the television.
Yeah, I guess that's the impression. They probably could have been explained better. Like, how the hell is he doing that?
I kind of like that wasn't explained. It made it kind of creepier.
Also, it was kind of weird that they just offhandedly killed off one of the old guys.
Wait, what?
Yeah, like one of the old men was like in that room of bodies.
Holy shit! I did not. Yeah, there were these three old men that just show up in random episodes. What the fuck?
Yeah, just one of the old men was in that room.
I did not notice this.
Yeah. So yeah, that was weird, and also weird is that like he did this whole motive rant about how, like, oh, TV is, like, ruining everything, and, like, TV's the real god, and then that has absolutely nothing to do with why he's doing this.
No, it just felt like, I think it was just, like, I think he was just trying to say this in terms of, like, why he can keep suckering in cults.
Yeah. One thing I did really like about it is the actual design of the, like, cult leader is very off-putting.
Yeah, it turns out it's a fake identity. And it does have, like, a kind of uncanny valley, appearance to it.
Yeah. I love how they're basically just straight up Heaven's Gate.
Yeah, you're right. It kind of is. Wait, actually, I don't know that. I've never seen Heaven's Gate.
Oh, I mean, like, the Heaven's Gate cult.
Oh, okay, yeah. I don't really know that much about that cult either.
Yeah.
Are they also about, like,
they had a similar, like, doctrine of, like, you know, oh, your human body's just a temporary shell for, like, your greater soul, and, like, you know, they were kind of a suicide doomsday cult and all that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I do like, again, like, how many of the fucking bounties are just based on real life things? One of the bounty heads apparently is a, like, this is probably the point where the show started getting really good for me, but one of the bounty heads is apparently just a, like, a really, transparent, not even trying to hide it, parody of the then current head of PETA.
Yeah. I found that episode kind of confusing.
I actually really liked it. I think it was one of the ones where I'm like, it's one of the ones where it was like, that was the growing the beard episode for me.
It's a good episode, but the biggest thing with it is kind of just in the fact of, like, okay, there is some greater context here, and I feel like you probably should be fleshing out to some extent more than you have.
Oh, the eco-terrorist group?
Yeah, kind of. It's just in the fact of, like, okay, I get that, like, okay, they used to be a normal group, then this person, like, turned it on its head, but it's like, how?
I think they were hoping, because that is kind of what happened to PETA. Like, PETA isn't an eco-terrorist group outright yet, but there is a feeling of they were a lot more normal in the past.
Yeah, it should have been more like the eco-terrorist episodes of SVU.
Oh God. Yeah,
let's
just give these people bomb-making supplies. Why not?
Hey, other episodes or other shows we got to talk about during this.
Yeah, we really do not want to talk about Cowboy Bebop. We were talking about literally everything else.
Yeah, I think it's the fact that the show is kind of so reference dense that it's sort of impossible not to like end up going off on like tangents about like all different things or whatever. Just tells the fact that it's such a the genre of it.
Yeah. The work, which shall be a genre unto itself, shall be called Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of just like, it has such a wide net that, like, you're gonna wind up talking about everything trying to talk about this show.
Yeah. Yeah, you kind of are.
Mm.
I think Oh, wait. One more episode I want to talk about before we get to the ending.
Yeah.
Hard Luck Woman.
Yeah.
Because...
Yeah, I think it's very good, but there are aspects of it I think are messy.
One big problem I have with it, and it's not even with the episode itself.
Yeah.
I think it's a better ending than the ending we got.
I'd agree with that.
Wait, say again?
I said, yeah, I'd agree with that.
Yeah.
I feel like if the show had stopped there, it'd be a perfectly serviceable ending.
Yeah, because here's kind of the thing with you want to say your thing first, because mine might be a better transition into the proper ending.
Just kind of the fact that, like, it works well because it's kind of everything. It ends with everything returning to how it was to start with.
Yeah.
Like Edward's doing her own thing. Like Faye's, pretty much just lost without answers.
Yeah.
And just Jet's like sitting around.
Yeah.
Like, it does genuinely kind of feel like it was written as the ending.
Yeah. Yeah,
especially that episode, especially that scene where they're like rather disgustingly slurping up the eggs.
Yeah, there's the feeling of like we do not want, like, we have to keep eating the eggs because that's the only thing that's keeping us from talking about this.
Yeah.
We just have to keep eating. As long as we keep eating, it didn't happen. We can eat forever.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Whipping out fucking Golden Girls references in this thing.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So yeah.
Oh, sorry.
The whole thing is, it's like, I do feel like it's kind of a better ending.
Especially since the first episode did paint the picture of like, you live, you die young. It's a lawless place. It paints a very bleak, almost nihilistic kind of setting.
Yeah.
And if you end it with everyone kind of going their own way and it just feeling kind of bittersweet and sad, I think that does a good job of playing it out, because it's like, none of this really meant anything. It was kind of just a thing that happened. They were together and then they drifted apart.
Yeah.
It's a bittersweet. I feel like a bittersweet ending like that would play better than the purely sad ending that we canonically get.
Yeah, that said, I do feel like the stuff with Edward feels very tacked on.
Oh, they just wanted to get rid of her.
Yeah, it kind of felt like she's there through the whole episode, but it did kind of feel like, okay, this is kind of Faye's story, and we just kind of tacked Edward onto it.
Yeah, you're kind of right. They did.
Also, it kind of felt weird to me that Faye just kind of like dips out in the middle of that conversation. It could have actually fleshed some things out for her.
Yeah. I was thinking you were gonna say something else.
Yeah.
Which is, what the fuck did Faye think was gonna happen?
Yeah, that too.
She gets her memory back. She runs back to the house where she lived as a little girl. She knows by now that she was cryogenically frozen and is actually like 100 years old.
Maybe she was hoping to find some like ruins, or maybe some like.
Well, she did.
Like descendants living there or something.
Yeah.
As opposed to just a big empty lot.
Yeah. It's like, come on, your dad's not gonna be there, Faye.
Yeah.
Like, that really bothered me. That has always bothered me about that particular scene. It's like, what'd she think was gonna happen?
I mean, she could have been hoping for at least being able to find, like, the rundown wreckage of the place or something. Just, like, find some type of connection to the past and said there was nothing.
Yeah.
Like... I said, I do feel like Faye's character arc does feel a little, like... This needed a more clear end point. Like...
Yeah.
Especially because for the last episode, it kind of feels like they just put a stop to everything with her and Jet.
Yeah.
They just kind of don't matter anymore.
Yeah, it's like, I get it. It's not their story, but at the same time, it's like, what the fuck?
yeah, it's like, are the two of them going to continue or what?
Yeah, like.
Okay, well, I guess we should talk about Real Fight Blues.
Yeah, Real Fight Blues. An ending that hit me really hard and stuck with me when I was a kid. As an adult, I have so many fucking problems with this ending.
There are a lot of respects in which I think it's done well. Like, the animation is, like, really good. I like the really abrupt feeling of, like, how the fight with Vicious ends.
I kind of don't. I love the fight getting up to Vicious. The fight, like, up until the ending, I think that fight is great.
Yeah.
It's a great action scene.
I don't... Yeah, the whole, like, banged on the thing is like, okay, that's well executed.
Yeah. You can see why Toonami called back to it.
Yeah.
When they ended their series for the first time.
Yeah. What else is there? Like I said, there's like some like good action in it. I like the scene with Faye and Julia. Because I do kind of like the like sort of like one is just it's animated well, and two I do like kind of the simmering of like these two very quickly figure out who the other is.
Yeah. I also do like the feel. I also get the feeling like, oh, if these people were to spend time with each other, they probably like each other.
Yeah.
They're already kind of like they're kind of like getting each other's vibe.
Yeah.
I like Paunch showing up.
Yeah, that was actually a really good scene.
The weird thing about that is, okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, neither one.
Faye, in that scene, Faye is, feeling alone. She doesn't have a family to go back to. Like, she did finally catch up with her past, only to find out there was nothing there, and now she feels lost. She sees an old woman who, I'm realizing so much weird shit with Faye. She sees an old woman who feels like she's alone and has no place to go, and then the old woman, like, is greeted by Paunch, the random side character.
I like how understated that is, but I was like, it would be very easy to not realize that's him.
Yeah, the first time I saw it, I actually didn't.
Yeah, like I kind of had a moment of like, wait, is that? Yes, it is. Huh?
Yeah, it's the coworker thing that drives it up.
Yeah,
their like, oh, what happened to your co-star? And yeah,
I kind of picked up on before that. I wasn't 100% on it.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, the old woman realizes she does have a place to go back to and accepts her new family. It's like, yeah, that would be perfectly a good reason for Faye to go back to Spike and the Bebop. But then the rest of the ending happens.
Yeah, another touch I like about that is in the fact that, like, that scene where they, like, call her and are like, Faye, just get back here already.
Yeah, because based on the rest because she ditches the ship all the time.
Yeah.
They have no reason to think she won't be coming back this time.
Yeah. And I feel like regardless of Julia thing, she probably would have.
Yeah. I also like the little touch that she also thinks that Edward and Ein are still there. She doesn't realize that they left.
Yeah.
But yeah, should we talk about Vicious? Because we've been dancing around him for a while.
Okay, yeah, Vicious is like... there are things about this character I think are done well.
Yeah.
Like, the bit where he kills the Scorpion is really badass.
Yeah.
And I do like how, like... There are times how understated he is works very well. Like, when I was playing off of those, like, weird, mystic, like, Red Dragon Masters or whatever.
Yeah, what the fuck? The fucking crime syndicate is run by like the fucking Azula's teachers from Last Airbender.
Yeah. Yeah, this is a weird thing to throw out there.
Yeah. Also, they have a fortune teller.
Yeah.
Which I guess is just a thing in this universe, given Old Man Bull.
Yeah. Who has a PS1.
Yeah, what the This old Native American chief living on Mars, playing his PS1 and telling the future.
Yeah. You just need look. You never feel up for Symphony of the Night, okay?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Maybe that's what Vicious is supposed to be. He's supposed to be Dracula.
Maybe he is. I mean that. I think that is an actual. I'll give it this on Vicious. That bird is fucking. That bird looks fucking amazing. It's like I thought that was an alien when I was a kid. It's an actual. It's an actual breed of bird.
Oh, neat.
Yeah. It's so evil looking.
Actually, maybe he did take some cues from Avatar between the design and the sword.
Yeah. Here's the thing. He's just a really generic anime villain.
Yeah, pretty much.
He's just Sephiroth.
There are
he's
things
just
I think are cool about him, like how completely unflinching he is.
Yeah. One moment I do really like is you meet a person he betrayed in the past.
Yeah.
Essentially for no reason.
Yeah.
And when the person catches up to him and says, like, why did you do this to me? Why did you sell me out and ruin my life? And he just says, there was no reason. I did it because I wanted to do it.
Yeah.
There is something kind of it does a good job emphasizing how heartless and nihilistic the character is.
I think the biggest failing of Real Folk Blues is in the fact that like a significant chunk of it is devoted to this whole like Red Dragon coup thing, and like I don't see why I should care.
No, there's some cool moments. I like Vicious.
It's a well done sequence. I like the way he like takes over and kills everybody.
Yeah, I love the fact that to get it, he blows up his own bird.
Yeah.
Turns out he just stuffed his bird full of bombs.
That, or maybe it was a robot the whole time. Like, who knows?
I remember my brother when we were kids put forth the idea that the bird was carrying the bombs and detonated it themselves. Like it was there to protect him.
Yeah. It's hard to say.
I love the moment when they apprehend him because the Red Dragon elders are constantly comparing him to a snake, and then when they catch him, they think like, "Oh, you're done, Vicious," and he turns the metaphor back around on them, saying like a snake's poison infects and kills slowly after the bite.
Yeah.
And I think two of them are just constantly mocking him. The one leader goes, "Huh, shit."
Yeah, honestly, it did make them look like huge idiots. They just didn't kill him on the spot.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Especially whenever he's like pretty clearly like kind of encouraging them to do it as a reverse psychology thing.
Yeah. Oh, maybe Vicious is a little bit. No, he's not.
I don't think Vicious is necessarily a bad villain, but he is a very like one-note villain.
Yeah, he's very one-dimensional, which works for most of the villains on the show are one-dimensional.
Yeah,
but it's fine because most of them are only there for one episode, and you're obviously not supposed to care that much about them. Even somewhat like half of them are just kind of like boss fights.
Yeah.
Not even that. They're just like kind of interesting mini bosses.
Yeah, I will say this show. I rewatched Standalone Complex a few months ago.
Yeah,
and you know this. I'm just saying this for like video purposes.
Yeah, I've been saying shit for video purposes the whole movie, the whole video. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm sure you're getting sick of it.
I had to say it. Yeah, nah, it's fine. That's the whole reason of doing this.
Yeah.
Because we talked about this show in between more than we did others.
Yeah, we try to keep our the chatter between ourselves kind of limited so that we have so that our reactions to each other's thoughts are kind of live.
Yeah. And so we don't just kind of end up going over the same ground or forgetting doing the stuff. It's like with this show, it's kind of so dense and like so much longer than the other things we've done.
Yeah.
That like we kind of just needed to talk about it here and there.
Pretty much.
Especially because, like we said before, like trying to binge this show is kind of exhausting.
Yeah, we just kind of had to talk about it to each other just to kind of get it out of our system.
Yeah. So anyway, I rewatched Standalone Complex a few months ago, and the two shows, honestly, structurally, are very similar.
Oh, okay.
Like kind of like you kind of have your like broader main narrative, and then you have like your like standalone filler episodes. Like here's this villain of the week and their tragic backstory that the crew kind of gradually puts together.
Huh. Yeah, you're kind of right. A lot of the episodes were like that.
Yeah, and if I were to compare the two shows, what I would say is Cowboy Bebop probably is the more interesting filler. I didn't really care that much about a lot of the standalone episodes in like Standalone Complex.
Yeah.
Standalone Complex is the more interesting main narrative.
Huh. Yeah, granted,
Like, the Laughing Man is way more interesting than Vicious.
granted, the original, granted, the main narrative of that show went for way longer though.
Yeah,
There were so many more episodes, that put information into it.
true. I will grant that Cowboy Bebop probably did a better job of pacing its main story.
Huh.
Because, like, it's kind of always simmering there in the background in terms of, like, character or focus and, like, straight lines and, like, all that. But, like, Ghost in the Shell will be like, okay, well, we just did, like, 2 episodes on the main plot. Okay, not touch that again for another 10 episodes.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, actually, we've been doing this for a while. We've, like, almost doubled the length we went on Squid Girl.
Yeah, I kind of expected that, because, like I said, the show is so much more dense. There's so much more to talk about.
Yeah. And here I was kind of afraid we would end up not doing that long, but yeah, we done for about 90 minutes. I think
Yeah.
we might gone longer on Promised Neverland, but we were kind of stumbling around on that one.
Yeah. Promised Neverland was a lot more random.
Yeah, granted it's not saved anyway, so.
Yeah, that was just a flicker in the night.
Yeah. It's just a pilot.
Pretty much.
But yeah, on the whole though, it's like I am glad I rewatched it.
Yeah, so am I. There's still a lot that I can appreciate looking back on this. I'm surprised at how much of this I remember. Because I watched this over and over again when I was a kid. Because I think Adult Swim is still running it now.
It was never a show I like to just sit down and watch, but I'd probably already seen most of it.
Yeah, I had never seen all of it I had never watched all of it from the beginning. Like I had seen every
Yeah,
episode.
I never watched it from the beginning.
Yeah. You just caught it when it was on. It was never a show that anyone watched from the beginning.
Yeah. It's interesting. Do you have anything else you want to go into?
For the show. I do want to say this on the ending, and this is one of the bigger problems I have.
Yeah.
Because it's dumb how we're supposed to care about Spike and Vicious and Julia when we don't know very much about them and how they don't feel. Her head is way too fucking big. Holy shit. Oh thank God she's not in the same layer. It's dumb how Faye and Jet don't really get any sort of resolution. Like again, I know it's not their story, but they should have a bigger impact than this. Like they should have a better ending than what they got.
Yeah.
But the biggest thing that really bugged me, and this especially because this made perfect sense to me when I was a kid, but less so now, is what the fuck is Spike doing?
But in what respect? Oh, do you mean like at the end in there?
Why is he doing literally anything?
Yeah. Well, I think the broader point of the ending was basically just he's going into that just on the basis of he doesn't know what else to do.
No.
But it's the same reason Faye was just kind of lying around doing nothing.
No. Bullshit.
But it's like, it does... I don't know, like, it has a consistent trend throughout the whole show. Like, Spike is not a very pragmatic character.
He's not, and also, like, for all the advice he gives Faye about leaving behind her past and deciding who she is based on...
oh, he's a huge hypocrite.
Oh, yeah. He will not fucking let go of his past at all. Like, he will never stop pining over Julia.
Yeah.
But it's like, you could have sunk in the message by having him change and turn things around at the very end.
Yeah.
But no, they don't. They just... Why?
I think it kind of works for what they were going for, but it is something of like... The show's tone is so all over the place that I don't really think, like, there was an ending that really would have suited it.
I guess not. Yeah, I guess you had to go with the tragic, like, horrible ending, but...
I do agree with the ending of just everyone's back where they started from the previous episode was more interesting.
Yeah, it is.
Especially because, like, the show just kind of gives up on Jet and Faye. They just, like... Spike says later, and then they just never turn up again.
No. No, it's like they don't get endings.
Yeah.
I know it's not their story, but we connected with them. We saw their character growth. We saw them kind of deal with a lot of personal issues that were aching at them. But
They both get a lot more character growth than Spike does.
yeah, Spike. They both more or less kind of learn to move on from their past. Spike doesn't, and I guess that's why he gets killed.
Yeah.
Like he could have just said, "Fuck it, let Vicious run the syndicate. I'm out."
Being fair, I'm not entirely sure how much of an option that was for him, just on the basis that, like...
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Vicious still would have kept coming after him.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess mutual... you're right. I guess mutual death was kind of the only option.
Yeah. It was kind of a thing where that was really the only way the other two were going to get away okay.
I guess. I don't know, this whole, like...
But it feels weird that he didn't just, like, say that. The Grand Indian is a show where nobody spits out anything.
Pretty much, but I just got so annoyed with the fucking, like, oh, I'm not really alive, I'm actually just dreaming kind of shtick that they would kept fucking throwing out.
Yeah.
It's shit that felt poignant to me when I was a teenager, but now I just think it's fucking stupid.
Yeah. It's like, I feel like you were probably harder on the ending than I was, but it was the thing that, like, I wasn't really that into it.
No.
Also, you can partially blame AMV Hell for this, but Julia's death was just comical.
Yeah, we're big fans of AMV.
Like, for real, like, the second it happened, my mind just went like, what you say?
Yeah, we're both big fans of AMV Hell, and they did a great parody of that scene.
I mean, I haven't watched AMV Hell in, like, probably like 15 fucking years, you know?
It's been sooner than that for me.
Well, I did probably more like 10 years, but you get my point.
Yeah.
I meant to. But yeah, it's like my mind still went straight to that. It doesn't help, like, Julia's so flat of a character that, like...
Yeah.
It feels like most of the romantic subtext with those two is just because their actors are married.
Oh, huh.
Yeah, they actually met through the show.
Oh. Cool. Need to know.
That's neat.
Yeah. But yeah, the ending was just so... I was so checked out at the ending.
Yeah.
Just because, Spike's backstory is just a big clusterfuck of who fucking cares.
Yeah, I've heard the original idea of the movie was supposed to be like flesh out his backstory more, and then they decided not to. And it's like, I feel like it actually probably would have benefited the show if they did.
Yeah. The ending actually does make the dream thing kind of work, because the implication is that the movie makes the dream thing kind of work, because the implication is that the movie really is just a dream that Spike is having.
Yeah.
Granted, I don't know if that's necessarily true, because it has the problem Total Recall has, where if the character is dreaming this way, there's so many scenes where they're not in them.
Yeah.
Seriously, how many other fucking things have we referenced in this?
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, okay, we're at an hour and 40 minutes, just about. I think we could probably comfortably go ahead and, like, figure out what we're doing next.
Should we mention should we just mention the other thing, or should we say...
Yeah, I was wanting to bring that up.
Okay, I wasn't sure if you wanted to bring it up or just leave that as like a hidden bonus.
Okay, so... because this show was kind of so long to watch, and because Adam got, like, way further ahead on it than I did in a hurry, because he kind of had more tolerance, I guess, for it.
Yeah.
He decided to go ahead and get to watching Hinamatsuri of his own accord, which I've seen before he hadn't.
Yeah, yeah, it was also the fact that Cowboy Bebop, like we said...
you need a buffer.
Yeah, it was a buffer.
Like, you need something to help wash it out a little bit.
Yeah, because it's so... the tone is so all over the place. I needed something else.
Yeah.
I need something light and happy.
Yeah.
And...
so, basically, yeah, Adam just watching Hinamatsuri of his own accord. That he's nearly done with it. I've watched it before, so it wouldn't take that long for me to get through it. So it's like, that'll probably be what we do next regardless, and we'll probably just start having like 2 shows in a rotation at a given time.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind trying that.
Yeah, just have like A show, B show, it's easier for me to have a longer series like this.
Yeah.
Like, Dear God, we're gonna need like backup shows when we get to the Final Honest.
Jeez, what's left of the fucking list that we haven't mentioned yet?
I mean, probably like 90 fucking things.
Yeah, but...
Plus, I think we'd already mentioned Full Alchemist and the Squid Girl one.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, like, when we get to that, we're gonna need something to, like... we're gonna need something to watch with it.
Yeah. Actually, what happened with Hinamatsuri is... I was thinking, like, I need some... Like, Bebop kind of messed me up a little bit. I need something to wash the taste out. What's on the list that's, like, a dumb gag show? And you sent me, like, a dozen... Or you sent me, like, half a dozen little suggestions. I just picked Hinamatsuri.
Yeah. Yeah, so, yeah, Hinamatsuri will probably be next.
Yeah, almost
but then
certainly.
after that...
Almost certainly, because I think I have, like, 2 episodes left.
Yeah, and it's like, it won't take me long to get through it.
Yeah, let me pull it open. Yeah, I'm on episode 10 of a 12, like halfway through episode 10, so there's like 2.5 episodes left.
Yeah.
I might finish watching that tonight.
Yeah.
Now that's a show I don't know how we're going to talk about.
Yeah. It'll be shorter in this video.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so, yeah, that leaves the question of like, what else are we doing? Because we still do want to, like, randomize it, too.
Yeah.
It just felt like that bared mentioning as a, hey, we're also doing this thing.
Yeah.
Okay, well, does anyone in the chat want to pick a number from 1 and 104?
I don't think we have that many people left in the chat now. Because we've been going for a while where it's late at night.
Yeah, true. Okay, do you want to just pick one then?
In between 104. I'm going to say 1 and 104. I'm going to say 25.
That's what we got. Huh. It's one we didn't mention.
Okay.
Special A.
Okay.
Yeah.
How many episodes is this?
I think it's 24.
Oh, god damn it. Oh.
At least seen what series on the shorter end.
What's that?
I said at least seen what series on the shorter end.
True,
so it won't be as long of a wait regardless.
Yeah, yeah.
It's been a long time since I've watched Special A, and I've only watched it subbed, so this is going to be interesting. I'm guessing this shows age like milk.
Awesome. Fucking awesome. Yeah, hang on. Is it on what is Special A on?
I believe it's on VRV.
Oh, okay. Okay, cool.
Just out of curiosity, I rolled it in and we got kids on the slope.
Oh, okay, yeah. I think we should go with this first one then.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. I didn't want to. I wanted to stick to the honor the random, but it's like I just wanted to see what was next. It's like, yeah, I'm glad we didn't get kids on the slope.
Yeah. Yikes.
Kids on the slope is what I think, guys. So.
Yeah. We need something different.
Yeah.
Oh, you're right. It is on VRV.
Yeah.
And it is 24
So I like to point out the nightmare scenario would have been Samurai Champloo.
And then Special A, and then Trigun. And it would have been Samurai Champloo, then Kids on the Slope, then Trigun.
Yeah. Then Outlaw Star.
Yeah. It would have turned this into just a nightmare project to do.
Yeah.
Okay. Is this even... Okay, good, it is dubbed, okay.
Yeah, they did eventually dub it. They just took forever on it.
Oh, okay.
The one that initially released it in like English release with subs, which is what I've got.
Yeah.
And then they dubbed it like a couple of years after that.
Eh.
So it's like, yeah, I've not watched the dubs. I don't really know what to expect. Yeah, Special A is interesting. At least it's not gonna feel like Cowboy Bebop.
No, it definitely won't. Well, we'll see how it goes when we get to it. We'll yeah. Oh, one more thing. This is Bebop. One more thing about Bebop. It has possibly one of the best anime openings.
Yeah.
Like, I have everything on the list. I have, like, all the anime I've seen. Its opening is almost certainly in the top 10.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the opening to Cowboy Bebop is, like, pretty spectacular, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like, just visually and, like, musically, it's... Granted, I think it sounds too loud compared to the show.
It is, but it gets you hype.
Yeah. I just mean on an audio balancing level.
Oh, okay, yeah.
like you usually have to turn the TV down during it.
Yeah, like the opening of Star Trek TNG.
Yeah.
Like that opening is deafening compared to the show.
Yeah, but yeah, Tank is like a damn good closing, you know.
It really is.
And okay, I had like no memory of it whatsoever, but like kind of the more it went on, the more I was kind of into Real Folk Blues.
Yeah, I always love the Real Folk Blues. I love in the end when the action, like in the last episode when the action kicks up.
Yeah.
And like you get this like badass like second verse. It's incredible.
Yeah.
Like I hate.
I thought old kids didn't actually play that song for the ending, but.
Yeah. It's like every single episode of the show is named after an album or a song, and I think it's kind.
Except for the two they just changed that dub for no reason.
No, which one? Which two were those?
Toys in the Attic and Pro LaFoe.
Huh.
Like they both were named after songs in Japanese, and they just changed the titles here for some reason.
Weird.
Yeah.
Maybe those the particular songs belong to like a particularly litigious firm yeah.
Is it weird we didn't talk about that second episode at all, really, outside of just like the fight?
Aside from the fact that it sucked?
Huh? I don't know, I thought about the Mad Perot thing.
Oh. Kind of. Yeah, we talked about the fight. We talked about like how tie back into the being hung up on the past thing. We referred to it as the Batman episode because it's about it's about Spike fighting like 5 different Batman villains in a blender.
Yeah, it's like fighting like Penguin, Bane, Joker.
Yeah, with a little Scarecrow thrown in, I think.
Yeah. 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 So, on the whole, though, it's like, yeah, I would say it's like, I'm glad I watched it. I'm not, like, in love with it. I have a hard time picturing myself binging it again. But I can see myself putting on, like, stray episodes for noise.
I just realized something. You liked it a lot more the second, like, rewatching it for this. I like it a lot less rewatching it like this. But we still both like... But
that's kind of what I expected to happen, and just how we'd both meet in the middle ground. Like, yeah, it's alright.
Yeah.
I think as a production, it's like spectacular. It's just kind of not for me.
Yeah, it has that kind of thing where it's so perfect. It leaves you kind of detached.
Yeah.
Either way, yeah, I am happy. I am really happy that we redid this one, but I'm also very happy that we're done with it and can move on to something else.
Yeah. I wouldn't be terribly surprised if Special A ends up being the first one of these we're pissed at.
Awesome.
Like, I liked it at the time, but it's like, even just looking back on it, I can see some, like, murky implications about that show.
Yeah. Actually, Special A might be the first one of these where we get really hung up in talking about the gender dynamics.
Oh god, yes, that is unavoidable in this show.
Because every other show we've done has actually done a really good job with that.
I think Cowboy Bebop has its spots that aren't great.
Okay, yeah, okay, Faye is very damselly, but at the same time, I don't know, I can't think of anything that I feel makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah, true.
Like, she's not when she's sexualized, it's obviously her own choice. Like, it doesn't...
It feels appropriate for the character.
Yeah.
That said, I do not mind the Netflix adaptation changing the outfit.
No, the outfit is one of those things of, like, who the fuck would ever dress like this?
Yeah, it's like, I do not mind the Netflix adaptation changing it.
I understand that Edward dresses in, like, in what appears to be a bra that is, like, 80 sizes too large and a pair of impossibly tight black pants.
Yeah.
But at least Edward is insane.
Yeah. Edward is Edward.
Yes. As opposed to Faye, who is just what the fuck.
Yeah. It fits her character, but like
It does, but it's one of those things of if you try to imagine what this looked like on a live action person, you just go, what the hell?
yeah.
It's kind of the problem I have with a lot of Fire Emblem characters.
I just found myself curious of like.
You looking up cosplay?
No. I was curious as to like, okay, so who's playing Edward in the Netflix show? And then looking into it, it doesn't seem like she's in it.
Okay, that sounds like a huge problem.
Yeah.
I know she's out of place, and a lot of episodes didn't know what to do with her. But you don't.
Maybe they just don't get to her in season 1.
I guess not. But no, don't cut her.
Yeah, I don't think they'd cut her entirely. She's kind of too useful too.
Yeah.
But right, she is a very animated character.
She is, but you can still do her. Make her tone her down a little bit. Just put her on like Futaba's level of insanity.
Yeah. Yeah, I would imagine it's probably just that waiting until season 2 to introduce everything.
Maybe so. If that's what it is, then all the trailers are gonna be about her.
Yeah.
Like the trailers are gonna be entirely, yes, we're doing Edward.
Yeah.
It'll be like in Daredevil season 3 where they just said yes, where it's just like, yeah, we're doing Bullseye.
Yeah, the only characters they've announced casting for are like some side. Okay. Apparently, they actually have announced that Edward's in it, but we haven't actually seen who plays her.
Oh, okay.
All right.
I'm kind of curious about that for the reason of Okay. Spike I think is Jewish. Jet I think is black. Faye we find out is from Singapore. Do you want to take a stab at Edward's ethnicity? I think she's.
For a lot. I think for her last name she's supposed to be Turkish.
Oh, okay. But whenever I Google like black anime characters, Edward's usually on that list somewhere.
Yeah, I think she's supposed to be Turkish.
Okay.
Granted, in this fight's being played by John Cho, so.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I just should bring up the Netflix thing real quick.
Yeah.
My take on that is, yeah, sure, why not? Like, I don't think it's sacrilege to do it.
No.
Do I think it'll be good? Probably not.
I'm willing to keep an open mind. I mean, it can't be as bad as Death Note.
Oh yeah, like it would be incredibly hard for it to be as bad as Death Note. Granted, at least Death Note was kind of funny bad.
Yeah, at least you had Willem Dafoe hamming it up. You can't hate that.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, like the American Death Note was like fucking awful. But it's like I did at least like I found it watchable.
It was more fun. Like what was it like 2/3 of the way through? You just said fuck it, I'm just gonna enjoy myself.
Yeah. It's like I don't think this will be that bad, but I could still see it being bad, or I could see it being really good. Like it helps at Cowboy Bebop. I don't think to be that hard to adapt.
No, not compared to a lot of other shows. It remains a fairly grounded series.
That said, looking at the credits for the guy writing this is like, oh wow.
Oh no.
He has some good things. Like he wrote for The Mandalorian. I don't like this movie, but a lot of people do. He wrote for Thor: The Ragnarok.
Okay.
But he also wrote Thor: The Dark World. And Max Steel.
Yeah, we'll see how this turns out.
A lot of episodes of Wolverine and the X-Men.
Okay, I never saw it.
I have heard it is okay. Yeah. I've seen like 1 or 2 episodes. I don't have that much of an opinion on it. It seems like there are probably worse options. Who's directing this? What developing it, I guess. Okay. Yeah, I find the fact that one of the people working on it did the like Michael Bay Ninja Turtles movies probably isn't a great sign.
No, probably not.
The one that wrote a bunch of episodes of Fringe, I think people like that show. I don't know. In either case, we've kind of gone on for a while now. We're at like 2 hours at this point.
Yeah. Sorry, man.
Yeah, that's fine. I've had a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, likewise. Got through almost an entire
Plus,
fucking.
I haven't been interrupted.
Plus, I'm kind of surprised I've gotten through this much of the fucking page. Holy shit.
Yeah. Between this and how quickly it went for you on Promised Neverland, I think these are just good outlets for drawing.
Yeah. Yeah, something about talking about this gets the creative juices flowing.
Yeah.
Plus, also the fact that I can't get up in pace, which is a big hindrance for getting work done on time.
Yeah. And we're gonna do Special A, and everyone's gonna looking on Waluigi.
Yeah, you show me that. Like, just the characters on this show randomly have stupidly long legs.
To be fair, they have pretty long arms too. But yes.
Either way, that's another one. That's another name kicked off the list.
Yeah. Either way, next will probably be Hina Matsuri and then Special A.
Yeah.
So.
Sounds good. All right.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Thanks everyone who's like listened to this, be it like live or recorded later or whatever.
More likely the latter.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's not been like terribly busy doing this, like, you know.
Yeah, maybe we'll try and do these at a reasonable hour next time.
Yeah. Because we basically both finished up watching the show and then just kind of got right into it. So
yeah, we both watched The Real Folk Blues earlier tonight.
Yeah. We'll try to be more like professionally timed with this shit later.
Yeah, including not taking as long.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what? Sorry, I just said we'll probably do that next week. Especially might be a little longer because it's a longer show. But I don't think it'd be that hard to get through. In either case, yes, thanks everyone watching this, be it on Twitch, YouTube, whatever.
Yeah. Thanks a lot, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Yeah. See ya.